The boy hammering on my apartment door at 2 in the morning couldn't have been older than 8, and through the wood I heard him choke out, "Mom said if it ever happened, come to 4B and don't open for anybody." I'd lived across the hall from that family for a year and barely knew their names. I opened the door. He half fell inside, barefoot, one sleeve of his pajama shirt ripped at the shoulder, shaking so hard his teeth were clicking. I shut it and threw the bolt. I crouched to his level. "Hey! Look at me. What happened?" The words came out in pieces. "There was blood. He hurt Mom. She said run and don't stop and don't open the door for anyone." He grabbed a fistful of my sleeve. Then the pounding started. I put my eye to the peephole and my stomach dropped. It was his mother. I knew her face from the mailboxes downstairs, but one side of it was slick with blood, her collar dark and wet, and she was slamming her open hand against my door. "Please, let me in. He's right behind me, please." The boy latched onto my arm with both hands. "No, don't. She said not to open it for anybody, not even her. She made me promise." His voice cracked on the last word. I froze. The woman in the hall was bleeding and begging, and her own son was hauling me back from the lock, gray with fear. I didn't know who to trust, so I made the only call I could live with. Keep the kids safe. Figure out the rest after. I stepped back from the door. "I'm calling the police," I yelled. "Get back. You don't understand," she screamed. "He's coming. Don't let him near my son." Then she went quiet, completely. I looked again. She had turned away from my door and was staring down the length of the hallway, dead still, the way an animal freezes when it sees the thing that hunts it. She pressed her back to my door and I heard her whisper against the wood, "He's here. Oh God, he's here." A man came down the hall, ordinary, slacks, a quarter zip sweater, keys still in his hand like he just parked the car. He stopped outside my door and knocked twice, politely. "Hi there," he said, warm and even. "I'm so sorry to wake you. My wife's having a mental health episode. She's hurt herself and she's terrifying our boy. I've got him. I just need to get my son somewhere safe. You can open up. It's all right now." Every word was reasonable. My hand actually drifted toward the bolt. 2 people were bleeding and shouting, and here was one calm voice offering to end it. Then the boy saw him through the crack under the chain I'd started to slide. The sound he made wasn't a scream. It was lower and worse, and he dropped to the floor and scrambled backward on his hands until his spine hit my couch. He was more afraid of the calm man at the door than of his blood-soaked mother. That was the moment it all turned over in my head. Sick, certain, and far too late. The man watched his son crawl away from him. The friendly face didn't move, but something behind it did. "Open the door," he said, and the warmth went out of his voice like a light switched off. "Cops are 2 minutes out." He didn't waste breath arguing. He stepped back and drove his heel into the door beside the knob. The frame cracked. A second kick, and the wood split around the bolt. The mother threw herself at him from behind. Bloodied as she was, she got an arm around his neck and screamed at me. "The back window! The fire escape! Take him! Go!" I scooped the boy up and ran for the bedroom. Behind me, bodies slamming the wall, a lamp shattering, a man snarling low and steady. I had the window up and one leg onto the fire escape when the hallway lit up red and blue, and there were fists on the broken door and voices shouting police. And then the ugly sounds stopped. They cuffed him in my living room while he explained, calm again, that this was all a terrible misunderstanding, and his wife was unwell. A medic pressed gauze to the mother's face at my kitchen table, and she told me the rest in a shaking voice. There was a restraining order. He'd tracked their new building down that week. The plan she drilled into her son was one sentence: go to 4B and don't open the door for anyone, not even me. Because if I'm the one asking you to open it, it means he's already gotten to me. She pulled her boy against her good side. "Thank you," she whispered. I couldn't speak. I just nodded.